Yo, yo, you can hear me? You can dig me?
Oh yeah, welcome back.
What's happening?
All right, we back for part 2 with BEEPA THA KING, independent artist, worldwide acclaim, streams going crazy, I mean, got a new project coming out. One of the first things I wanted to find out today, how did you come up with the name for your new project?
Oh man, my cousin was he was taking a vacation out in Paris, man, and he ended up FaceTiming me, you know what I'm saying? And it was at nighttime, and I was just looking at the lights in the city, and he was showing me everything that's as he was walking through the city. So it really gave me a good vibe just by seeing it over the phone. So I got the vacation coming up in a couple months, you know what I'm saying? I'm taking my personal trip out to Paris. So yeah, I came up with that album Paris Nights because as of looking at the city at nighttime through my cousin's iPhone or whatever, you know, I just fell in love with the scenery I seen. So, you know, that's why I came up with the album called Paris Nights.
Do you have any features on the project that people need to be looking out for?
Oh yeah, for sure. I got Nino the Trap Star, you know, he's featured on the track. I got my guy Brez, you know what I'm saying? Brez gonna be featured on about two tracks off the album. And my guy Georgia Boy, you know what I'm saying? We done been doing music for quite some time together. So yeah, those like the and TJ, yeah, those like the, you know, the 3 features that I got on the album that's coming up, you know.
Do you have an actual date for it yet, for it to drop?
Not actually. I was looking more like July 2025, August of 2025, you know, but as of right now, I'm actually really got it in the works of, you know, the mixing and the mastering and getting the last couple of tracks that I'm putting on the album, getting those tracks together. So actually, I'm looking at probably like August 2025.
Are there going to be any visuals to go along with it?
Yes, we shooting the visual to Paris Nights. We actually gonna shoot the visual to Bonafide Hustler, also Our Father, Something I Said, and I think on The Coming of the King.
Right on. Now I was blessed to get a little insight on some of the track names and everything, and I was just curious about some of these titles that you came up with. I seen that there's a track called Backseat Driver. Like, what is that about, or how did you come up with that? Like, talk to me about that.
Backseat driver, you know, you know, you always say how that person that be in the car with you, that's a passenger, and you know, trying to direct traffic, you know, as if he's the driver and telling you where to go. So backseat driver is like, it's like me personally taking the trip by myself. You know, if people looking for me, don't even worry about me pulling up, because I ain't. Backseat Driver is just an album that a track that, a project that I feel like that was a good track for me, that it describes me, my type of character, and things I like to do, and actually really doing it by myself. So Backseat Driver is like, I don't need one of those. So yeah, that's why I got a track called Backseat Driver.
Right on. The track called Bonafide Hustler, you got any insight about that? Like, you could tell us, you know, what can we expect?
Bonafide Hustler, that's a track that I got Brez featured on, got TJ's featured on. He's an R&B singer. Bonafide Hustler is like, you know, how did I start getting into the hustle game? And it's a very smooth track, you know, how, like I said, how I really got my feet wet on it. So and I learned the game from my dad and my brothers them. So, you know, sitting back watching them and putting what I learned from them in perspective, you know, saying I was letting the world know that I'm a real bona fide hustler, and basically how I start the hustle. You know what I'm saying?
I see you got a track called Born for This. I guess it might be self-explanatory, but just in case, can you tell me a little bit about that?
Born for This is a track that I came up with as a listening to the beat that I selected for it. Born for This is like somewhat inspirational, religious a little bit, and the weight that was put on my shoulders, you know, I felt like God had his way with me with this track, and I opened up in a way that I never really opened up on the track, and I found the direction of where I was going in with it, and it was kind of spiritual, inspirational. And so Born for This was letting you know that, you know, it don't matter what type of projects that I put forth, I'm born for what I'm doing at this moment. You know what I mean?
Right on. Never give up. Now I know that's one of those tracks right there. You play a little snippet before you before we started this interview and everything. And
Right.
tell the people about Never Give Up.
Never Give Up. It was like, you know, on my way of coming up, it was a lot of closed doors that was shut on me. A lot of hands that I was looking for to be out, you know what I'm saying, so that I could reach and touch to get some help wasn't there. But I was also that shoulder that people needed at that time to cry on. And, you know, a reference, a part in there to my brother, you know, R.I.P. to my brother, you know, may his legacy continue to live on. And so Never Give Up, you know, the direction I'm going in with that is, it doesn't matter, you know, what kind of pressure you're up under. It doesn't matter, you know, if you're not going in a direction you feel that you need to go. Never give up on the projects or the goals that you set for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So that was a good track for me that led me in a good direction, you know, as a listening to the instrumental and the beat that I chose for it. So I just never gave up on creating this project.
I see you got a track on here called Our Father. Can you elaborate on that song?
Yeah, Our Father, it's more like giving direction to the young, to the YNs that's out here in the community of what's going on. The title of it, you know, it coincides with the lyrics to the song. It's basically a prayer to myself and also the prayer to the community, you know, and giving direction on how you're supposed to move out here in the streets and things that you should not do and the ways that you shouldn't get caught up in certain things out here in the streets. So Our Father is a good track that I feel like some of these YNs should listen to, so therefore they can get a better understanding of what's going on out here.
The title track, Paris Nights, what's going on here?
Oh, Paris Nights, man, it's that's a good track to me. That track is more about the investments that I made, and they coming back to me. The travels that I'm trying to take, that I'm going to take. Paris Nights is like a luxury car type project track to me. It's like a luxury house. Like when you listen to it, you can tell that, you know, that I'm in another dimension, you know, as I put that track together, man. It's a real great touching project to me, man. And it feels like what I'm talking about in it is where I'm going to be at, you know, as time, you know what I'm saying, prevails to me. So Paris Nights is like the best track I believe that's coming out on this project, man.
I see you got a track called Something I Said. I think I heard a little bit of that, like while you was recording it one time on, I think it was TikTok. Can you elaborate a little bit on what this track going to be about and the feel from it?
Something I Said is like, you know, when you're going through ups and downs in your relationship, and you know your significant other, you know, maybe lashing out over something that you said that you feel that you shouldn't have said. And on this track, I'm just pouring out my heart, you know, certain things that happened within the relationship, things that, you know, that was going on. And I'm just pouring my heart out to my significant other and letting them know that I apologize. I'm deeply sorry. I realize the mistakes that I did make, and I'm trying to, you know, make them better. Hopefully we can go in a greater direction from it. Seeing the things that I didn't do, you know, that I supposed to have done, the reason why you may be feeling that way, or why you may be shutting me out, you know, certain conversations, or, you know, cold shoulders. So Something I Said is that track I feel everybody should listen to, and they can take something from it to apply to their relationship. So hopefully things will go better or greater when their relationship, so they won't have to have a setback. This basically like a guide or blueprint to your relationship on how you can keep the relationship better, and always look forward for greater days with your partner.
The Coming of the King by BEEPA THA KING. This right here. Tell me a little bit about this track. Is it like an anthem or a theme song? What's going on?
Oh, The Coming of the King, man. That is that track. The Coming of the King was gonna be the single for the album, but I felt like it should be titled Paris Nights, which is a little more luxury type of title. But The Coming of the King is letting all the artists know, like, yeah, I am that guy. I am the one that's supposed to be on that pedestal. I am the king, you know, and letting you know, man, I really got my feet, you know what I'm saying, on a lot of people's necks around here, man. I am that ideal rapper. I am that ideal artist. A lot of people that within the city, I respect what they do. I respect the movement that they making, but You know what I'm saying? Honestly, man, I am that guy, so that's the reason why the track called Coming of the King, and I'm really not shooting at any artists in there, but I'm just letting the artists know I am that guy.
Untold Stories. What's going on with this track?
Untold Stories, it's another track, like, it coincides with Bonafide Hustler. Basically, like I said, where I got the game from, in this track. Talk about, within the chorus, I talk about the loss of my brother, my sister, and my dad, and how my dad used to come home, you know, many late nights with pillowcases, you know what I'm saying, full of money, duffel bags full of money, and I used to help him count the money up sometimes. And just seeing the hustle that he had with the money as a being younger, as I got older, I realized where the money was coming from. So that really inspired me to get out here in the streets, because I seen that you can make this kind of money in the streets, because I used to count it up when my dad brought it home. So the first verse is, you know, a dedication to my dad, and Untold Stories is about what he did. And the second verse is telling you about, you know, when I jumped in the game and the things that I accumulated from it. And yeah, it's a great track, man.
All right, out of all the tracks on here, what makes Winners Only special? I noticed that's the closing track, or I'm assuming that it is. I know things might change, but right now you got it as the closing track, Winners Only. Can you tell me about that?
Winners Only, like I say, like this album is like, to me, like I say, luxury. Winners Only is like the circle that, you know, that I am in, my brother is in, and the things that we have done, the possessions that we accumulated along our journey, and the many places that we have went and got the recognition that we needed. Everybody that, you know, I have talked to or performed in front of, they always let me know that, like, bro, you is that star, you is that next up and rising star. And a good person, I performed that Demp week one year, and as a being on stage, I performed. As I get off stage, TJ Chapman walked up on me. As he approached me, he was like, "Hey man, you know, you that guy." I was like, at the time I had just lost my brother, so I really didn't want to communicate with anybody. I just came to do my job and get on. So he was like, "You don't know who I am?" He said, "I'm TJ Chapman." I was like, "Okay, just give me a card, you know, and we'll communicate after that." He was like, "Man, you really don't know who I am." He said, "I'm the one that brought B.O.B. to the forefront, K Camp, T-Pain, Trap Beckham." And he was naming a lot of more artists. So, you know, as me and him got to talking, and we also took a picture. Me, him, and another guy that I was with. So as we walk in to take the picture, I was basically gonna let him be in the middle, because, you know what I'm saying, he was that guy that you can go to get where you need to get in the industry. But he pushed me in the middle and pushed himself to the side. He was like, "Hey, I'm gonna stand on the side of you because this your world, bro. I just want to be involved with it." So shout out to TJ DJ for stamping me just as well as Beethoven did. He stamped me as well. So they let me know that, you know what I mean, my circle is only for winners. So that's where Winners Only come from.